So thanks guys for being patient. I know I had to kind of extend this. We had a little family emergency, but I am back. Um, and wanted to ask you guys who is currently using AI? The answer should be everyone. You're actually using AI and you just don't know you're using AI. Like, for example, every time you go on your social media, you know there's AI that's programmed in like Instagram now that is picking up on every little thing that you do. And they also updated it to where there is an AI and you can say, hey, I'm looking for, you know, pit bull puppies, and they'll give you all of the pages for that.
Mhm. They
So
also are doing it with LinkedIn now as well too, where, if you are looking at a specific job posting, there will be AI features that they're beta testing right now that will say, am I a good fit for this position? Do what qualifications that are on my LinkedIn profile match up with what they're looking for in the job posting? That's just what I've seen on LinkedIn. They use it for a bunch of other things too, but I thought that was really fascinating.
it's in everything. I mean, even with prime example, the tankless water heaters, the newer ones have like Navient has a built-in programming system where it learns when you use water the most, when you're showering, all of that. So that way you're not wasting more energy. But apparently my brand new Navient thinks that I shower at midnight, so I don't have any hot water right now. So it's great.
So
So have you,
we're in the early stages of AI with that one still.
I honestly, I'm like, I know there's people that hate AI and think that it's going to take over the world, but if it makes our lives easier, I'm all for it. Just don't murder me in my sleep. That's all I ask. Has anybody used our new Mel? No. Okay. So I've been playing around with Mel, and it's very, very specific. So if, for my team, some of my agents like to go door knocking. They don't love it, they like it. And one of the features that you can do is, like, let's just say you're walking down the street and you see somebody that has, maybe they're painting or they're doing some renovations. You can pull up the property and ask Mel, hey, when was the last time 1234 Main Street sold? And it will give you, it connects to your MLS. So it'll give you the information of the last sale plus the owner's information. Walk up there and be like, hey, Carla, how's it going? I see you're doing some renovations. Excited for you. Like, and build that conversation. Be very, very specific though. So when you're doing like CMAs with it, you have to say, I'm looking for single family residences that sold in the last 3 months. If you just say properties, it'll pull up every property, condos, townhomes, vacant land, all of that. So, but I would suggest using it. You can also, it's integrated with your email. So you could say, hey, please book an appointment with, Ashley Luong tomorrow at 12:30. Here's where we're meeting. And then I'll ask you, do you want anybody else? Is anyone else joining your meeting? And they'll send that email link as well. So it's really, really cool.
I think too, when you're using any sort of AI tool, whether that's Mel, whether it's ChatGPT, whether it's Bird, like any of those, the more information that you give it, the better output it will give you. And I know we often think, oh, AI is going to be here to make our lives easier in every single possible way, but you still have to give it all of the information and all the inputs that it requires to be able to do its job as effectively as possible. So it's really one of those situations where you get out what you put into it.
Yeah, it's awesome. I suggest kind of, playing around with it. And for those that haven't joined one of my rooms, I'm not very, so there's no, I like to make the rooms more of a conversational piece because I want you guys to be, active in the room, and kind of like collaboration versus just me talking the whole time. Has anyone used AI in terms of like photos for your listings? No? So there's several different companies. I'm actually going to be using one for one of our listings, but they're very inexpensive and very realistic looking. I mean, I don't know if you guys have gone on social media. There's a lot of pages now where you think it's a real person. It's not. It's an AI. And what a lot of people are trying to do is they're trying to make money off of that. And honestly, I wish I was skilled in AI because they're making a ton of money. A lot of followers. Followers turns into, advertising for different companies. And I guess the biggest concern in that realm is, and I have somebody that I know that is, a pretty big model. She's concerned that AI is going to replace them for all of the digital stuff. So it's a good thing we're not models. At least I'm not. But yeah, it's very inexpensive. I can send you guys a list of all those different staging companies. There's also companies that, let's just say you want to your client is thinking about, designing their property before they go ahead and sell it. Instead of hiring, an actual designer that's going to cost thousands of dollars, you can actually get a 3D or a 2D rendering of the house. And the AI will go ahead and you can tell like, hey, this is a mid-century modern single family residence, 2,000 square feet. Here is how big the room is. And it will go ahead and give you different options. And then also link it to, this is where you could buy the furniture. Or you can say, what painters are in the area that can do this? And then it'll go ahead and send you information to those painters. So that way you're not having to outsource and find these people. It's right at your fingertips. And it saves you a ton of money.
Rod, so I know that being kind of like our graphic designer here at Radius, how often do you utilize AI in your day-to-day life?
That's a good question. I've used it to design different types of marketing materials, but I use it as a jumping off point. I don't think it's quite there yet where I'm worried about my job. But it is progressing. So yeah, I think if you don't adopt and use the tools that you have, you're going to get left behind. So I do find it to be a really valuable tool right now.
And one of the big things that I'm trying to teach and coach other agents is, if you have, like for us, we have Canva Pro through Radius. And if you're using ChatGPT, you can actually link it to your Canva. So you can say, give me 10 tips for, I'm a seller, give me 10 tips to get my house ready before it goes on the market. And it will outline it. You can take that, export it into a CSV file into Canva, and Canva, knowing what style you like, once you start building on that, will create you those templates. So all you have to do is download and then shoot it out or schedule send it to wherever.
I didn't know that Canva could do that actually. That it could integrate with ChatGPT to create things for you. Because that's kind of where I've seen a lot of articles about where AI is kind of going, is that, like Rod was saying, like the creation portion of like generating images, generating video. I'm sure all of us have heard at some point an AI generated song. I know if you're on social media, they're literally everywhere. And so we're not at the point yet where it's taking over the creative industry, but I'm curious to see how it's going to affect the creation and distribution of art as we know it in 5, 10, 15 years, especially as we start seeing some of the negative consequences of it too, with deep fakes and all of those things. And so I'm very curious to see how the legislation is going to pan out in order to kind of start regulating AI and what we can and can't do with the technology.
I think we've already started seeing that in like the film and TV industry. That's why they're kind of on a hiatus for over a year. But there's going to be a lot of pushback with AI. So to me, it's going to be interesting.
This is a little bit, it's related, but it's off topic in regards to real estate. I'm not sure if anyone has seen the Netflix true crime special, What Jennifer Did, but they utilized AI to generate photos of Jennifer based on photos that they had already had of her. And technically, you are supposed to, there's no law requiring it, but you should be specifying when and where you utilize AI. And it was not mentioned in the credits or in the credits that they had used AI to create these visuals. And so I definitely think that that's going to be something that gets mandated later on, is that if you're going to be creating or distributing some form of art that has AI embedded into it, that you'll have to disclose it regardless. So anyways, just wanted to interject that in there.
What questions do you guys have about AI and integrating into your business? Or what are some things that you guys have found intriguing and maybe you guys don't know where to start?
Yeah, I think from my end, I would love, I mean, I know we're all busy, but at some point I'd love like a one-on-one time with the integration of Canva to GPT. I'm in Canva every day, like at least an hour to 2 hours a day, mood boarding, like everything for sense of place. I'm in the wine business too, so I have like a whole nother brand folder for like wine stuff, but I have to like mock it up and like create brand folders, and then it's like 20 assets and different things, and then the folders sit there, but I have to schedule everything, I have to post everything, and I'm writing copy from scratch. Like I love to write, but like it's time consuming.
Yeah.
So it's like off tangent, I would love to like have just like a quick tutorial at one point where we jump on a call and just like, how do we just show me like an example, like maybe like one workflow, and then like, okay, cool.
Do you have ChatGPT?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Yeah. Yeah.
Sam,
I'm always in that as well. Like, bouncing back and forth.
we also have our Canva representative coming
Okay.
to rooms, I want to say tomorrow.
Okay.
And so I can send you that link over because I'm sure she'll be able to go through like the integration and whatnot of
Yeah, that just like, I would love to see how it works, because if it's going to save me, like I don't feel comfortable giving 100% control, or like I want to feel like I'm still driving the vehicle, so to speak. And it's also fun. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So.
I can send you. So I have an associate of mine. She is in a different state. Love her to pieces. And she does training, but her videos are really easy to watch and follow. And there's one in particular that's about the integration. And then there's also another feature if you have ChatGPT, where there's another site that will go ahead and basically attach to ChatGPT. And let's just say, if you guys ever go on ChatGPT and you're like, hey, write me a short bio about a real estate agent, luxury, blah, blah, blah. And then it's very like kind of professional, but also stiff. And you're like, that's not my personality. I want it to be more laid back, whatever that is. So there is a program, and I've actually attached to my ChatGPT, where it's like, make this more humorous, make this, more easygoing. So that way you can kind of switch up what it sounds like.
Yeah. I would say for copywriting too, ChatGPT is going to be your best friend. It like, I know Rod mentioned this, but it really does kind of give you a good jumping off point for, what you're trying to convey. Obviously it doesn't, it can't supplement human emotion and effort and creativity and all of that. But I do think it's really helpful for writing and drafting copy in particular.
Yeah, I love AI. It's making my life much easier. But yeah, there's like interior AI. There's a program, very inexpensive. I think it's like $27 or $30 a month, but a lot of contractors and developers are using it to kind of redesign, instead of like paying interior designer a ton of money, they're using that for their renderings. So it's crazy. And then of course, loan officers there's another program that they're using, which I can get, that helps you with, I don't know what system that they're using for like their CRM, but it's integrated into that CRM. So it's like, hey, by the way, don't forget, here's a list of all the clients that, purchased in 2020 that could probably refinance now. So it's just making it a lot easier. And sometimes I feel like it makes people a lot lazier, but and also we're probably not going to have TikTok anymore in America, just FYI.
I'm so sad about that.
Really?
I love TikTok. I unapologetically love TikTok. I can get rid of it, and that it's not going to be the end of the world, but I am sad if it does end up going away. But what I was actually going to ask you, Elizabeth, is if there are any tools that you have on hand that can just kind of show how the AI like helps, any tools that you can show and like share your screen and do like a quick walkthrough. I think that would be really
was not planning on that. I was going to tell you all of the apps that I have because I use them on my phone.
Oh, I see. So then that'll be a little bit more difficult to do it from your phone.
Yes. Everybody should have ChatGPT on their phone. Photo Room. I have Canva. I've got Captions, CapCut. So even though TikTok is going to go away, CapCut, I use that more for all of my videos because you can like interlay different things on it. You can add people into it as if they're still in that room. So it takes some time to learn, but once you get it down, it's a breeze. So, and then AutoCap, just for the captions. And if you guys have ever seen some of my videos and you think like, wow, she sounds really smart, like everything she's saying, it's because I'm taking the time to write it. And then I use, I'm telling you guys all my secrets. It's okay. Where is it? Big View, BIGVU. It is an amazing app. There's also AI. I gotta get the name of this program, but it's for contract review and compliance. And I'm sure that with Radius being such a tech-driven company, that we're gonna have more AI integration in that aspect too.
Oh yeah. We definitely will. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but we definitely do have some exciting things coming up. And so there's definitely going to be a much bigger push for AI and AI-based tech tools that can really help support your guys' businesses. So very excited about the future here at Radius.
Any other questions, guys?
I had one, Elizabeth. So have you run into any challenges or limitations with any of the AI tech tools that you've been using? Anything that you would kind of caution against or be like, I've done my trial and error with this tool and this is kind of what I would use instead, that sort of thing?
I think the biggest issue that I have with any new technology is that there's always going to be kinks. And, just from owning a house, if you have so many things that are connected to, let's just say, even Wi-Fi, and if for some odd reason the internet goes down, like you're stuck. So, use it, but don't fully depend on AI to do your job. Like I gave I call it homework to my agents, but I said, create your value proposition, because that's going to be so important. And I've been doing this with, my coaching clients. And when I hear a value proposition, I'm like, all right, you need to ask yourself, if you were interviewing yourself, would you hire you? What makes you different than all of these other agents that are saying, oh yeah, I'm going to be there for you. I've got a list of vendors. Like, how do you differentiate yourself? And I also tell them, like, don't use ChatGPT to create your value proposition because it's not going to sound like you. Like, you're selling yourself. There is a reason why that person is allowing you to interview with them. So, yeah.
Has anyone used AI for listings or like listing presentations, in whether it's in your marketing or in the presentation itself?
Yeah. My listing and buyer, I call them booklets. So there's templates that are already pre-made, and you can just, input your logo, your information, and it just gets created for you. And that's another thing that some agents are doing, is just creating real estate templates and selling them on Etsy. Yeah.
Etsy's a gold mine. I didn't know that people were selling templates on there either.
Yeah, Etsy is a gold mine.
Let me see. I had a few questions that I had prepared for today because I think AI is one of those things that it's new enough where everyone still has a billion questions about it, but it's also been around for long enough that, we're
Actually had a question, and to see if anyone else on the call is using it for maybe less creative stuff, and not even copy. Like, for real estate, I actually use GPT and AI plugins more for it's kind of lead gen, but it's like to hone in on like potential targets, because you can integrate with Zapier, which then connects to like HubSpot and a few other things. So if you train the GPT the right way, and I think GPT-4, you can attach documents, whether it's PDF, Word, and it can actually like parse out like people, companies, names, and like if you have it integrated, it can like then like throw it into your CRM. And then there's even plugins where it's connected to your CRM. It'll actually draft version 1 emails based on their name, maybe like where you found their info, and it gives you like the running start. So I actually use, for real estate, I actually use it more for reviewing like databases or directories. And like, I know we talked about this, like mine's a little different, where like I'll take like a trade directory of like all the, like for instance, I'm building one right now, like all the winery vineyard owners in the Pacific Northwest, all the way through like Baja, Valle de Guadalupe, Mexico. So like I get the name of the vineyard, the name of the operation, the name of the owners, the name of the entity, all the contact information, and like GPT cleans it all up by just reviewing PDFs and links on the internet. And I have to like format it into a PDF, but it takes me, like, instead of hiring someone or me spending, I don't know, 20 hours going through 3,000 entries in directories, like it's not perfect, but it reviews that document in like a minute. And then it at least gives me a head start on to like clean through it all. So then all my lead targets I can just throw PDFs and links to directories, and it just cleans it up for me. And it saves me hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month hiring someone or spending time to do it. So I'm curious to see if people are doing that.
Yeah. And I think the other thing too is, like, with all this technology that we have, we're talking as if we're real estate agents and business owners, but you also have potential clients that are doing the exact same thing. You could tell them all day long, like, I do this, I do that, but then they could go ahead and make their own list of agents in the area and, have AI basically say, match me with the right person. This is what I'm looking for. And one of the things that, I really am glad that Radius is doing is the white glove service that's coming up, the integration with AI, where you're basically going to have your own, you can send it to your clients, but they have their own login, and you're looking for properties. And, clients might say, I'm only looking for a 3-bed, 2-bath under 1.5, blah, 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 in this particular street. But then you don't know if they're looking at other properties on Zillow. But if they're staying on this platform with Radius, you're going to be able to see, Mel's going to say, hey, I know your clients told you they're only looking for this, but they're a bunch of liars. They're actually looking at 2 million price point, and this is a property that they've been looking at, multiple times a day, maybe schedule an appointment to show them this one. So it's learning your clients' behaviors too, but they're doing the same thing. They're researching us, or they're seeing if we're going to be a good fit, and they're matching us with other agents. Also, if anybody's wondering what that noise is in the background, that's my foster dog snoring.
Google Meet has some sort of incredible noise cancellation, because I've had the train go by a bunch of times and nobody has heard it. And then no, I haven't been able to hear I
Okay.
haven't been able to hear the dog.
He needs one of those like breathing apparatuses.
I love that.
But yeah, I mean, one thing that I'm going to do after this call is, if you guys want a list, I can send you a list of different AI for real estate. And then also a few of, I guess, my associates that I talk to that are specifically in that field for like marketing, digital. And they're like, you could reach out to them and they'll respond.
Awesome. Yeah, if you want to send me the list, I can distribute it. Or if you want me to send you the list of everyone that was on the call, I can get that over to you. It just depends on whatever makes your life easier.
Okay. And yeah, I mean, I use it for door knocking. Like, I love the new mail system because I can look up the property information and just start a conversation. So it's not like, hey, knocking on the door, I'm your local real estate agent, how you doing? It's more of like a warm handoff. So it's something that I want you guys to be able to use too. And then also when you go to events, like I have an event, Ashley and I are actually going to volunteer for it on this Saturday. It's the Seal Beach Classic Car Show. But if you get people's contact information, you can create your own CVS file. And, with any other events that we're doing or follow up, we can use that to go ahead and do an email blast specifically to them. So there's just a lot of things that we can incorporate AI into.
Absolutely. I know we're getting towards the end of our time, and so I just want to check and see if anyone has any last minute questions or anything else they want to discuss about AI and how it supports or helps out your business.
Just real quick, everyone is on the call. Elizabeth, where are you guys? And I apologize, I'm sure we're connected somewhere on social or LinkedIn. Where are you guys based, and where do you serve?
So we're in Southern California, but my agents are very spread out. I mean, as far as like, I have an agent in Fresno, all the way down to San Diego, and Ashley and I are about to get a listing in Laguna Hills. So
nice.
Yeah.
But you're like LA, you're like beach cities, like LA?
Yeah, I guess I like where I live, I'm in the beach city. I'm like Manhattan, Redondo area.
Nice. I lived in Hermosa. So.
Oh, you do?
No, I used to. I lived on Longfellow.
I was gonna say we're neighbors.
Yeah, it used to be. I miss the weather. I'm no longer there, but
where are you?
On Longfellow. Oh man. Currently I split time between Tennessee and Mexico, but I travel to Florida and California as well. So I'm licensed in soon to be 4 states. But
oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
I just stay in Mexico.
Every time I go, I don't want to come back. Yeah.
Like Tulum.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but I love Hermosa. I miss it.
That's really cool. So you're active in California,
Florida,
Tennessee,
and then soon to be Georgia. So the way Georgia works, because we're right on the border, is that you get automatic reciprocity.